to go into my full doses of tamoxifen. Actually, it's today. I think I'm supposed to start tonight.
Okay.
But I mean, all of the tough stuff, the hard physical stuff is over. 6 weeks ago, I had my reconstruction, so it was like the last big thing I had to do.
You talked on air about the mental struggle, the mental part of cancer, and I thought that was so interesting. You don't hear a lot of people talking about that side of it, and you talked about cutting your hair as being something you could do to assert yourself against the cancer, and I wonder what were other things that you did.
Well, I tried to trick myself into believing I didn't have cancer. I went to work every single day. I obviously had to take time off for the double mastectomy.
Yeah.
But once I came back from that, I went to Sochi to cover the Olympics as I had previously planned before I knew I had cancer between rounds 3 and 4. I got my new job promotion after round 6, and I felt like crap, like everyone else does.
Yeah.
But I got up and I went to work each day and I distracted myself and I told myself cancer is not taking away the job that I love. I'm not going to sit in bed and cry and feel sorry for myself. And that was a huge control thing for me. I wasn't going to let cancer stop me from going and doing my job and doing what I love. And so yes, and I just had a warrior mentality. I still do, because the mental part never goes away.
Yeah.
That never goes away. And it's just now all starting to sink in. Robin Roberts told me, she said, I'm warning you, when you're done with the chemo and you're done with the surgeries, it's actually harder in a way, because you're not fighting it in the way you were. When you're fighting it, it keeps you going, it keeps you strong. All of a sudden now you're just waiting. You're waiting to see if it comes back.
Right, you're guarding.
I would not have gotten my mammogram if the producers of Good Morning America hadn't almost forced me to do it. And the reason why I eventually agreed to do it was because I thought, hey, I got into journalism to have an impact. If, as Robin told me, if one person gets a mammogram who wouldn't have otherwise, and you save one life, it's completely worth it. So I went into it, the only reason why I just agreed to do that mammogram in a mammo van in the middle of Times Square with millions of people watching me was because I thought it would help. I thought the message of early detection would get out, and I knew that I had been the procrastinator. I had not filled my prescription. I was a year due.
Right.
And so when I got the cancer diagnosis a few weeks later, I literally felt responsible to tell people what had happened, because I knew that that story would move people, and I knew that that story would make people make those appointments that they weren't making. I knew the impact of my story. I knew it, and so I thought I owed it. I needed to pay it forward, because someone had pushed me in that mammo van, and if by people hearing that I had cancer pushed them into their doctor's office, it was something that I was going to feel good about. Though the chemo, I was just saying in there, the chemo for me, those were the hardest days, because that was the one time I couldn't pretend that I didn't have cancer. I mean, there I had needles with toxins going into me, and I pretty much cried the entire time I was in chemo. That's when I used to just let it all out, and I didn't want cameras there for that. But what I did was, and I'm glad I did it, I had my husband with my iPhone take a picture of each round, and so I did that. And then when I was done, I decided to share those pictures at the end. I didn't do it during, because I think when you're in the middle of it, it was just really hard. And I think learning how to live with cancer, or learning how to live after a cancer diagnosis, is something I'm still figuring out. But I think the mental part of this, and the leaning on each other, and the support that there is an amazing support system, an amazing community that surrounds breast cancer, and it overjoyed me. The love I felt was incredible. It was something I had never felt before, and I want to continue to pay it forward on that as well, and let other women know that they're not alone. And I think that that's just a huge part of what I want to get across, to let other women know that we are there for each other, we support each other. I had my daughter's school friends' parents literally cook a meal for us every single night when I was going through chemo. I mean, just like stuff like that. It's incredible, and I want to be a part of that going forward, because you need help, and it's hard to accept help sometimes, but it's a beautiful thing when you do and when you can, and so I want to be on the other side of that.
That's the idea. And I went in and I talked to Robin Roberts, who obviously is a breast cancer survivor, thriver, she prefers. And I'll never forget, I will never forget walking into her office and said, hey, can I talk to you about something? And I told her that they had asked me to do this live mammogram. And she said, oh, you're the one they asked? And I I said, yes, I am the one they asked. And I said, I'm just so afraid this is going to look like a stunt. I was really concerned that it would actually end up being distracting. If people are like, oh, look at Amy, she's going in there. I said, I don't have any family history. All of my grandparents are alive. All my aunts are alive. Cancer isn't in my family, so it feels weird that I'm the one who would be doing this. And the whole time I'm standing there talking to her, I have cancer, and I don't know it. And she said to me, look, there's no one who knows more what it's like to put medical procedures out there for the public to view, and I know it's uncomfortable physically and mentally, but she's like, I'm telling you, Amy, if you get one woman in there into getting a mammogram and you save one life, there's nothing better in this world. The impact is tremendous. She said, just please, please, please think about this, because you have this powerful tool in your hand, and if you use it, if you do it, this could have a tremendous, tremendous impact. And it was at that moment I got emotional, and I gave her a big hug and I said, thank you. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. And thank you for saying that to me. And she said, and by the way, Amy, 80% of all breast cancers have no family history. And I didn't know that at the time. I had no idea. I pretty much thought it was mostly a genetic thing. I had no idea. And I told the world that I had breast cancer. And it was actually really freeing. It was amazing. I felt like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulders, and the response from the people who were watching that day was incredible. It was the most love I have ever felt in my entire life, from complete strangers who were sending me, prayer shawls and cards and letters and emails, and it was so incredible. It was the best decision I ever made for me personally, and then hopefully for those who are listening to the ultimate message, which is to get a mammogram, and that early detection does save lives. And I want to congratulate Dr. Allen, of course, for your achievements and national accreditation, something to be so proud of, and something that is obvious to me why you received, because this is just an incredible facility filled with wonderful, inspiring people. So I'm honored